Michael Snyder blog. I think he's got another website now. TheMostImportantNews.com. I believe it's Snyder. He's got The End of the American Dream. He got a few sites. I think that's him. Yeah, it is him. When Pelosi ripped Trump's speech in half at the State of the Union, was it a harbinger of what is about to happen to America during this next election? It is a rare thing to witness a truly iconic moment happen on live television, but that is precisely what tens of millions of Americans had the opportunity to do on Tuesday night. At the conclusion of President Trump's State of the Union address, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi ripped her copy of Trump's speech in half in front of a nationwide audience. We have never seen anything like that before in the entire history of this country. But of course, so many unprecedented things have taken place during Trump's presidency. Pelosi is claiming that she did not plan in advance to rip the speech in half, and at that moment, she probably wasn't doing much thinking at all, but it is a moment that will live in all of our memories for the rest of our lives. Pelosi shocked the entire nation by tearing the speech in two, but more importantly, I believe that her action was a perfect metaphor for what is about to happen to America. We are more deeply divided than we have ever been, and during this election season, I believe that we will see very frightening eruptions of anger and frustrations all across the United States. Let me stop. Okay, I mostly agree with what he just said. Except Donald Trump's in charge. The military intelligence people are in charge with him. And I just don't know that the deep state has much firepower left to really do anything meaningful. Maybe they do. Hey, maybe they do. I don't know that. I see him neutering them left and right. And as Q's been saying, which I want to read you this very recent statement that Q has said. Why is that? Let me do a control refresh because that's not even... The QMAP website's not updating. But I do have the app on my phone, and I do want to read you one thing in particular. And begin. Refreshing. Okay. This was posted today, February 5th, 2020. Panic in D.C. They never thought she would lose. In theaters now. People actually believe those responsible for the attempted coup attempt of a duly elected sitting U.S. president will go unpunished? End to our constitutional republic? No equal justice under the law? No accountability? Escape unscathed? Buckle up. Q. I wholeheartedly, as you know, because I've never swayed on Q for the most part, right? I believe that. And because of that, this election, again, they don't stand a chance. In my opinion, Donald Trump is going to wipe the floor with them. There'll be numbers that he wins by, I think will be mind-blowing. Unprecedented. We've never had a race that far apart. Of course, you might argue, well, that's because they've rigged it every time, Joe, to be 51-49 to make it so close that, And to that, I don't know that I have an argument, because you'd be pretty much right. But if this goes the right way and voter ID is already enacted by then, if it is, all these fake illegal voters can't vote. The fake voters can't do that. Now, of course, the Democrats could still do the write-in fake crap they always do. So we still may not see the right numbers. But I still think it's going to win in a landslide. Nobody expected Trump and Pelosi to be friendly with one another on Tuesday night, and Trump immediately made national headlines when he refused to shake Pelosi's hand. Oh, that was beautiful. That was beautiful. And in case... it's an ad. We got an advertisement from USA Today. 20-second advertisement. I feel like you kind of want to... You're going to want... You don't have to necessarily hear it, but I think you're going to want to see it. So, another 12 seconds. Advertisement will quit. Oh, I can hit skip now. Let's just go ahead and share the screen. Skip. Watch this. Sir, nothing short of epic. Thank you. Anyways, Pelosi omitted the customary language about it being a high privilege and a distinct honor to introduce the president. Trump then handed the traditional copies of his speech to Vice President Mike Pence and to Pelosi, but when she reached out to shake his hand, he turned his back on her. Of course. You're trying to impeach him on fake crap because you guys are criminals and he's exposing you and you're all going to go to jail and you're trying to overthrow him so that you can get away with the cover-up. God forbid he didn't shake your hand. Everything that he said that night, these numbers are great. This is the Democrats doing this. Ilhan Omar and Tlaib, whatever her name is, looking, giggling like a bunch of idiot schoolgirls. Republicans standing up. Good job, Mr. President. Yes, great numbers. Yes, our country's great. Democrats just staring. How could you not, hey, I says, President Donald Trump, we saw you get out of the car, dive into a ditch in the roadside to save a little girl who was drowning. The Democrats, yeah, good job, Mr. President. You saved this 11-year-old's life. You get to see firsthand how which party is which. Who the real fraudsters are, who the real criminals are. You got to see it during his speech last night. If you have not seen the video of that moment, you can watch it right here, which I just showed you. Considering the fact that Pelosi has been leading the charge to impeach Trump for the last several months, it really wasn't a surprise that he didn't want to shake her hand. But when Pelosi ripped up Trump's speech in front of the entire nation, right after Trump concluded his remarks, it surprised everyone. The following comes from USA Today. In a remarkable display, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi tore up the text of Trump's speech and tossed it aside before Trump had left. Pelosi later waved the ripped pieces in the air, and audience members left in the chamber and public viewing gallery could see Trump's prominent signature. I think that Pelosi will later deeply regret doing that, but I also believe that it will go down as one of the most iconic moments of 2020. Following her speech, a reporter asked her why she ripped Trump's speech in half. Her reply was, because it was the courteous thing to do. It was the courteous thing to do considering the alternative. Meaning you guys going to jail or something else? Oh, okay. So precisely what would the alternative have been? I wish that somebody would have asked Pelosi that question. You mean you want to wish our president harm? Subsequently, the official White House Twitter account harshly criticized Pelosi for her unprecedented gesture. Speaker Pelosi just ripped up one of our last surviving Tuskegee Airmen, the survival of a child born at 21 weeks, the mourning families of Rocky Jones and Kayla Mueller, a service member's reunion with his family. That's her legacy. Of course, the left was absolutely thrilled by what Pelosi did, and they can't say enough good things about her right now. And by the way, his comment earlier about, oh, the nation is divided, it's never been more divided. No. That's the main part I kind of disagree with. The nation isn't divided. There's massive amounts of us, a sliver of amounts of these liberal Democrats. But with the fake mainstream news always referring to them and only showing them, not showing anything else, it gives you the perception that there's a whole bunch of those people. But there's not really. There's actually very few. So we're not a country divided. I don't think I would agree with that. We're a country fake divided because these criminals are in charge. Not for long. Because that's another thing Q has said recently. Matter of fact, I think it was after that other post that I just read you. Which, let's get down to it. Refreshing again. That was the YouTube video. Twitter. Buckle up. Or maybe it was before that. Come on, Snip. Where's it at? More YouTube. Where is it? Am I not finding it? Okay. Well, I don't want to keep you waiting. It's not that important. Other than Q basically saying, get ready because fairly soon, you know, it's more than likely going to be going down. So, of course, the left was absolutely thrilled by this, whatever. Sadly, this is yet another example of how deeply divided we are as a nation again. We're not divided. Very few of us are divided. Most of us are with Trump. Just look at the turnout. Tens of thousands show up everywhere he goes, while maybe hundreds show up for any of the Democratic candidates. When Pelosi tore those pieces of paper in half, I believe it was symbolic of what will happen to our entire country. In other words, I believe that it is possible that we may have just witnessed what is known as a harbinger. The following is how that word is defined. Something that foreshadows a future event. Something that gives an anticipatory sign of what is to come. During the 2020 election season, America is literally going to be torn in half. Right now, many Democrats absolutely hate President Trump, his family, and his supporters, and that hatred is only going to intensify as we get closer to next November. Now, I will agree with that, but they don't even kind of outnumber us. Not even close. On the other side, many Republicans absolutely hate Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, Joe Biden, Bernie Sanders, and all their supporters. And that hatred will also intensify as we get closer to next November. Yes, but, very big but. I like big buts and I cannot lie. But, we on the right do not do the despicable and violent things that those on the left do. So while we may hate their supporters and I hate Joe Biden, doesn't mean we're going to do anything about it. Besides sit back, maybe me, do some videos on the demise of the Democratic Party, which was prophetically told in advance by the Webbot years ago, and some psychics too. But the Webbot was, I think, the first I ever really heard that from. No matter who wins the election, the coming months, no matter who, after Donald Trump wins the election, the coming months are not going to be pretty. In fact, I believe that we are about to witness the most chaotic election season in American history. And once the election is over, a large portion of the country will not be willing to accept the result. No. When Donald Trump wins, a large portion of the country will accept the result. And that's what we wanted. The small part of the country won't accept it. But like last time, they'll have to accept it. Matter of fact, there's 3 things. It's known as the 3 things they can do about it. Accept it. Respect it. And get over it. Take care.